Chapter 51 Hu Liena cheated again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The field was quiet. Hu Liena wanted to get up, but she heard Su Chen's secret message, "Don't move. If you get up, how embarrassing will it be if Qian Renxue finds me, Hu Liena thought about it, so she could only bite the bullet and sit on Su Chen's lap, not daring to move. Qian Renxue looked at the two people and suddenly sat together. Hu Liena's face quickly turned red. She felt something was wrong. Are you blushing? Is it possible that someone else is holding a gun against you? Hey! Do you two want to consider our feelings? That she originally thought that Su Chen was a wise man and a mature time traveler, but who would have thought? In fact, this is not a serious person. Su Chen also felt uncomfortable. Blame me? Who asked you to lend Hu Liena her pajamas? He quickly changed the topic. Qian Renxue, I've basically finished reminding you. Lingling and I haven't had dinner yet. You can help us make arrangements at home. Lingling, you go with her. Don't be polite to her if she likes to eat. I have helped her a lot today. Okay. Yi Lingling nodded obediently. Qian Renxue looked at Su Chen and Hu Liena with some displeasure, turned around and left with Yi Lingling. Call. Hu Liena let out a heavy breath, stood up, looked at Su Chen's embarrassing state, and said somewhat speechlessly. Can't you be more honest? Su Chen was also speechless and said. My martial soul Kunpin was affected by your martial soul demon fox and wants to release the martial soul fusion technique. Can you blame me for this? While they are out, help me degrade my martial soul. What? Hu Liena looked shocked, pinched Su Chen's waist, and said angrily. Stop messing around, Xuer and Lingling will be back soon. Besides, I can also see that you have a crush on Xuer. Being so silly at this time will affect her sense of you too much. Su Chen shook his head and said. It's nothing that affects the senses. She just asked me to choose the status of money, beauty, and I didn't like it. I'm obviously not a casual person. But. Hu Liena still hesitated. Su Chen pulled Hu Liena and said seriously in her ear. I'm very angry now. Forecourt, Qian Renxue had returned to Xue Qinghe's appearance, and she said to Yi Lingling. Miss Yi Lingling, don't be restrained. Just tell them what you want to eat. Yi Lingling nodded slightly. Thank you, Your Highness. Xue Qinghe, disguised by Qian Renxue, was still so approachable. She said with a gentle and comfortable smile. You are welcome. If you don't want me to just call you Lingling, you can call me Brother Qinghe. Well, Brother Qinghe. Yi Lingling shouted, looking at Qian Renxue beside him, and thinking about it, he also admired Qian Renxue very much. She has been pretending for so many years, but it is not easy. It is difficult for ordinary people to do it. The two characters of Qian Renxue and Xue Qinghe are really opposites, one is approachable and the other is cold and noble. Suddenly, the expressions of Qian Renxue and Yi Lingling changed, and their eyes widened uncontrollably, showing expressions of shock. Congratulations to Hu Liena, for triggering the hidden mission reward and getting soul power increased by 10 levels. Congratulations to Hu Liena, she was the first to trigger the hidden mission reward and received 100,000-year soul ring and 100,000-year soul bone. Not waiting for the flowers to bloom, life is full of surprises. Qian Renxue and Yi Lingling were in disbelief. They had just come out. How could Hu Liena get the hidden reward? This is actually a new way of playing. It's actually a new hidden reward. Well, eating is very spiritual, damn it. Qian Renxue and Yi Lingling were jealous in their hearts. Hu Liena was really not a human being. She didn't even leave a mouthful of soup for her sisters. In just a short time, she had already obtained 4 sets of 100,000-year soul rings and soul bones, and many more. Qian Renxue suddenly lost her temper. Now Hu Liena, she has grown into an 80-level contra with 4 sets of 100,000-year-old soul rings and soul bones. Oh my god! A god-level angel martial soul with an innate soul power of level 20, would be useless in front of her. Yi Lingling thought of something and suddenly smiled happily. My sister eats meat and I drink soup. Sister Hu Liena has developed a hidden mission, so I can ask her next, even though I won't get the soul ring and soul bone, but you can get a 10th level soul power upgrade. In this case, even though he is a healing soul master, he can still break through the title Douluo, Wuhun Temple. Bibi Dong was so shocked that she almost dropped the scepter on the ground. That perfect face, those beautiful eyes, and that little cherry mouth all formed a look of shock. She couldn't help but tighten her legs, her body trembled uncontrollably, and she murmured. Nana has level 80 soul power and possesses 4 sets of 100,000-year-old soul rings and soul bones. How old is she now? Hahaha. Bibi Dong felt so excited just thinking about it, so soon. He, the youngest and strongest title Douluo in history, was about to be surpassed by Nana. Green comes from blue and is better than blue. It turns out that this is called cheating. At this moment, Bibi Dong finally understood what a time traveler is, what cheating is, how powerful a time traveler is, and how cool cheating is. And many more. Bibi Dong suddenly realized that she was not the one cheating. She couldn't understand how cool it was to cheat. Hu Liena, the little white-eyed wolf, he clearly gave her a task and asked her to follow Su Chen. If nothing happened, he would mention himself in front of Su Chen and let his name appear in the copy of the diary so that he could get a reward. Now I haven't seen anything, but this little white-eyed wolf is almost cramping from receiving the reward. So angry. Bibi Dong also secretly decided that she must teach this little fox a lesson when she comes back. Shrek Academy, 3 friends, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing, gathered together and chatted passionately and intimately with each other. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing both knew Xiao Wu's secret. Since they were friends, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing did not hide anything at all and showed off their affairs to each other. In fact, it doesn't matter whether you say it or not. One day I got lucky and became a lucky spectator. Everything has not been stripped away by Su Chen. When Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong learned about Zhu Zhuqing and that Dai Mubai ran from the Star Luo Empire to Soto City regardless of Zhu Zhuqing's life and death and were still living and drinking here, they also learned that Zhu Zhuqing escaped from the Star Luo Empire with a narrow escape. The two of them immediately exploded with anger. Damn it! Ning Rongrong clenched her fists angrily and said angrily, Zhuqing, let's help you beat this heartless man to death. Xiao Wu also nodded fiercely and said, how disgusting. He is as scumbag as Tang San's master, let's go teach him a lesson together. Zhu Zhuqing quickly stopped him, no. They both looked angry and said. Zhuqing, he has done that to you, are you going to be a licker? That's right, you can't be a licker. Because of Su Chen's diary, their knowledge has also been enriched and increased. Chapter 52 Hu Liena, just be a human being. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhu Zhuqing shook his head and said. No, I feel sick when I see him now. It's just that it's hard for the 3 of us to beat him. He is now the 37th level soul master. We are the 3 great ones at the 29th, 26th, and 27th levels. There is no way a soul master can defeat him. Indeed. There is a big gap between the soul master and the great soul master. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong were still aggrieved. Hey, Ning Rongrong suddenly said. That Su Chen is coming to Soto City tomorrow. You see, he is here to teach the scumbag Yu Xiaogang a lesson. This Dai Mubai is also a scumbag. I think he will take care of him by the way. Xiao Wu nodded heavily and said, yeah. Then let's watch the show. Zhu Zhuqing looked at the two of them strangely, and finally asked Xiao Wu, aren't you afraid that he is here to get your soul ring? Xiao Wu's face froze instantly. Ning Rongrong muttered. I don't think so. Think about it, this diary is so mysterious. It can help Hu Liena obtain 300,000-year-old soul rings and soul bones. She shouldn't take action against Xiao Wu, right? Zhu Zhuqing shook his head and thought, who can refuse to pick up a set of 100,000-year soul rings and soul bones? She thought about it carefully, looked at Xiao Wu and said, judging from the fact that he didn't go to find you immediately, he didn't take your soul ring seriously, but I think you should be more careful. Hu Liena is her girlfriend. He doesn't need to prove that Hu Liena doesn't need it. Zhu Zhuqing struck a chord with his words, and the little rabbit's ears stood up in shock. At this moment, the reminder that Hu Liena had received the reward sounded in the minds of the three of them, three people. Hu Liena, you really deserve to die. The three of them were all itchy with anger. What kind of bad luck is this? Just a few days, his soul power increased by 30 levels, and he obtained 4 sets of 100,000-year soul rings and soul bones. Hu Liena, we beg you to be a human being. Not to mention the three of them, who in the entire continent wouldn't envy Hu Liena? Even Bo Saishi from Poseidon Island was so envious that his chest ached. At this time, Zhu Zhuqing said, I think Hu Liena probably doesn't like your soul ring anymore. Xiao Wu also breathed a sigh of relief. She patted her chest, which looked like a primary school student compared to Zhu Zhuqing's, with a frightened look on her face. I'm scared to death. How did this Hu Liena do it? Ning Rongrong gritted his teeth and said. This damn little fox, we have been waiting for Su Chen to come to Shrek for so long, and she has already received so many rewards. Hu Liena really deserves to die. Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu nodded heavily and raised their hands and feet in agreement. Zhu Zhuqing suddenly looked at the two of them and asked, do you know Yilingling and Duguyen? I remember that Su Chen went to find Duguyen and met Yilingling. Since the two of them know each other, why did Yilingling get a reward but Duguyen didn't? Xiao Wu looked confused. Who could she, a rabbit, know? I know, Ning Rongrong said. I heard my father say that Yilingling is the woman with the 9-hearted begonia martial spirit. If I remember correctly, Duguyen, this is the granddaughter of Poison Douluo. The two of them are in the Tiando Royal Academy. They should have a good relationship. My father said that they are both geniuses from the Tiando Royal Academy. They have formed a team and will participate in the mainland Soul Master competition in the future. Zhu Zhuqing nodded and said thoughtfully. If that's the case, the reward is actually not easy to get, because Duguyen didn't get it, and Yilingling only got it once. By the way, Xiao Wu, I think if you want to live well and protect your two friends in the forest, you must please Su Chen. As long as Su Chen is willing to help you, even if you go to the spirit hall in a big way, you will definitely not people dare to touch you. Think about it carefully. Compared to little princesses like Ning Rongrong and love rabbits like Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing is still very sober and thoughtful. Xiao Wu nodded after listening to Zhu Zhuqing's words, her expression a little complicated. How to please? Hey, if I had known better, I would have kept the carrot rewarded by the system last time and given it to Su Chen. Ning Rongrong patted Xiao Wu and comforted her. It's okay, Zhuqing and I will also help you. The three of us sisters can definitely defeat that hateful Hu Liena if we join forces. Honestly, Hu Liena has now become a thorn in the side of women who have copies of the diary. Apart from Sister Yilingling, Sister Qian Renxue, and Master Bibi Dong, there is no one among the remaining women who is not jealous and hates her. Good luck. If we can pick up Su Chen outside the Star Do Forest, we can do it too. Prince's Mansion, Qian Renxue and Yilingling stared at each other for a long time, not knowing what to say. Lingling, let's go to the backyard to inform Mr. Su and Miss Hu Liena to have dinner. Qian Renxue said lightly, stood up and walked towards the back with Yilingling. When they reached the backyard and there was no one around, Yilingling couldn't help but whisper, Sister Shui, isn't it a little bad for us to go back and disturb them so suddenly? Qian Renxue chuckled and said. Go. I have to see how she gets her reward today. Wait. Lingling, what did you just say? Wouldn't it be better to go back and disturb them suddenly? God! Are these two people doing something embarrassing in their own house? Qian Renxue stopped, looked at Yilingling and asked, you also received the first reward, Nana's second reward. Do you know how you got it? Yilingling's face turned red. Why didn't I know? I leaned against the wall and listened all night. That's just a matter between husband and wife. Qian Renxue went numb instantly. She knew about the first reward, Hu Liena had told her. The second reward was too shy, and Hu Liena hadn't told her yet. Never mind. Let's wait outside for a while before going in. Qian Renxue sighed inwardly and asked Yi Lingling. Why are you willing to follow Su Chen? What do you think of others? Yi Lingling answered honestly about what happened between him and Su Chen, and couldn't help but reveal a happy smile on his face as he spoke. I think he is very good. Although I will not be the only woman for him, he is very sincere and his kindness to me comes from the bottom of his heart. If Sister Shui is willing, I support you to be the second sister. Qian Renxue. Qian Renxue is really numb. Yi Lingling was talking about what happened between her and Su Chen, with an auntie smile on her face, and finally said that she would be the second child. She was really convinced. Lingling, do you think you are more love-minded than the love-minded master and apprentice of Wuhun Palace whom Su Chen said? Yi Lingling shook his head and said seriously. No, the same. What Su Chen said about love brain is stupid, but my mind is clear, and we are going in both directions. He is good to me and I am good to him. Chapter 53. Let's report her for cheating. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well, you're right, everything you said is right. Qian Renxue was speechless. If you weren't a lover, I would have folded the wings and grilled them for you, Yi Lingling suddenly said. Wrong. Qian Renxue looked at Yi Lingling with a confused face, not understanding what was wrong. Yi Lingling said with a shy face. They should not be practicing martial soul fusion skills, because there is no sound at all. Nana screamed very loudly while practicing martial arts fusion skills. Qian Renxue. As soon as she slapped her forehead, she felt exhausted. Can't we be more serious? That should be the end, let's go in, Qian Renxue said, taking Yi Lingling into the house. At this moment, Hu Liena had already finished eating. Noticing that Qian Renxue and Yi Lingling had strange looks in their eyes, Hu Liena was too embarrassed to look at them and cast a resentful look at Su Chen. Su Chen looked calm and asked. Can we start dinner? Qian Renxue looked around the room for a long time and found nothing unusual. The bed was exactly the same as when she left, and her pajamas were intact and without creases. This made her confused. Were they serious just now? Are you and Yi Lingling thinking improperly? Okay, I'll have someone send you back. Shortly after, a family dinner begins. Qian Renxue used her own appearance in the backyard. She didn't know why, but she always wanted to show herself in front of Su Chen. She also vaguely hated facing Su Chen with Xueqing his appearance. While eating, Su Chen picked up vegetables for Hu Liena and Yi Lingling. He noticed the complicated look in Qian Renxue's eyes, so he picked up a piece of meat for her and comforted her. What you plan is for people and God is for you. If you need me in the future, send someone to Wuhun City to find me. I will go to Soto City next, and then return to Wuhun City to live. Qian Renxue said out of nowhere, why don't you live in Tiando City? Su Chen replied calmly, because there is Hu Liena over there. Qian Renxue broke through her defense instantly. Hu Liena happily kissed Su Chen on the face, leaving him covered with oil. Su Chen looked at Qian Renxue's depressed expression and said with a smile, on the mainland, the strong are respected. Although there will never be equality, the Wuhun Palace makes me feel far more comfortable than the two empires. If it weren't for your mother, if Bibi Dong wasn't a little abnormal, I would have brought my knowledge to the spirit hall a long time ago. Qian Renxue stopped and looked straight at Su Chen. Su Chen shook his head slightly. People are always worried about what they can't get, and everyone's first love is very unforgettable. She inherited the position of Rakshasa and has been eroded by evil thoughts. The future of Wuhun Palace still depends on you and Nana. Qian Renxue was silent. Hu Liena's expression also became complicated. Suddenly, the two looked at each other, and a light seemed to light up in their eyes, because they suddenly thought that maybe something they could get from the copy of the diary could help her in the future. Su Chen, thank you. Qian Renxue glanced at Su Chen gratefully and lowered her head to eat in silence. Su Chen laughed and said, I don't need to thank you. After all, my purpose for you is not pure. Besides, I still hope that you fail in my heart. If you succeed in becoming emperor in Tiando, I will have no chance to get close to you. Puff. Yi Lingling was enjoying her meal, but when she heard this, she spat it out. that look was the same as Dugu Yan's reaction when Su Chen sincerely discussed marriage with her, outrageous. Brother, do you want to be so sincere? Hu Liena also looked at Su Chen with a strange expression. Unexpectedly, Su Chen still had this idea in mind and said it directly. Qian Renxue was immediately paralyzed. She refreshed her understanding of Su Chen time and time again. At first, she thought that such a prophet was a kind of outsider. Even if he was not an old man, he should have the appearance of a fairy, right? Now I realize that this person is actually a funny guy. Hu Liena, he didn't, that's nonsense. Finished the meal. When she was about to leave, Hu Liena looked at Yilingling and said. Good sister, I will leave Su Chen to you tonight. You take him back to the Wuhun branch hall, and I will stay with Shuer. What? Yilingling looked at Hu Liena with a confused look. Sister, you can still practice martial soul fusion skills with him tonight. I'm not in a hurry. Are you afraid that hearing the sound of our martial soul fusion skills will make you suffer from insomnia like me last night? Su Chen looked at Hu Liena with a strange look. There was always something wrong with this little fox, and he knew that something was wrong with her. I don't know what you are thinking about now. Hu Liena saw Su Chen's eyes, stretched out her beautiful hand and touched Su Chen's face, and said with a smile. It's been a long time since Shuer and I saw each other. We are leaving Tiando tomorrow, so I will stay with her. Okay. Su Chen nodded without saying anything, then looked at Qian Renxue and said. When a lion fights a rabbit, he also uses all his strength. Don't be sad, because you still have me. After Su Chen finished speaking, he waved his hands to Qian Renxue and Hu Liena, and then led Yilingling away. Qian Renxue looked at Su Chen's leaving figure, her face turned red. What is he talking about? Why do I still have you? How can I have you? Really? Hu Liena was cheerful and sulky on the side. Don't be sad, you still have me. You. Qian Renxue clenched her fists angrily. Hahaha. Hu Liena laughed happily and said. Why do you still want to beat me? Xiao Xue, if you don't inherit the angel god, you won't be able to defeat me. Don't you feel angry? Hey. Qian Renxue sighed heavily. She was only over 60 levels now, but her innate soul power was level 20. And she is a few years older than Hu Liena. This is really the wrong path. Seeing Qian Renshue's disappointed expression, Hu Liena hurriedly stepped forward to hold her and comfort her. I'm kidding you, don't worry, I will kill Tang San after Su Chen and I arrive at Shrek tomorrow to make you happy. Qian Renxue was stunned when she heard this. Kill Tang San. According to Su Chen, besides being a time traveler, Tang San is also the protagonist of this world. It's not easy to kill him, right? Hu Liena chuckled and then released her martial spirit. Purple, 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 red, 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 red. 400,000-year-old red lights illuminate the entire night. Even though Qian Renxue had known about this terrifying soul ring configuration in advance, she was still shocked and speechless after seeing it now. Dark place. Snake Spear Douluo and Galileo Douluo couldn't help but fly out, and said with shock on their faces. Nana, how did you do it? 400,000-year soul rings, even the first and second soul rings are purple. The two of them were completely shocked to know our two titled Douluo are also equipped with yellow, yellow, purple, 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 black, 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 and black. Moreover, Hu Liena is so young now, and she has already reached level 80 Contra. Is this because we are trying hard? We obviously haven't slept yet. Two people, damn, cheat. Chapter 54 9 Hearts Haitang Emperor's Martial Spirit Fusion Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hu Liena enjoyed the gazes of the two of them and said calmly. Grandpas, have you ever heard of the inheritance of the divine throne? That's right. I inherited the divine status, and the soul ring is a God-given soul ring that is awarded after passing the assessment. This is what Bibi Dong taught Hu Liena before. In fact, when Bibi Dong taught Hu Liena this rhetoric, she was very uncertain in her heart, because she had no shit in the divine test and her strength was still being suppressed. Both guillotine and snake spear were also numb. Horror. This god must be the god of wealth, right? The fifth soul ring is directly 100,000 years old. What do you think it is if it is not the god of wealth? Nana is amazing. We are really old, hahaha. That the two of them were very happy. Hu Liena was the genius of their Wuhun Hall, and she was the one they watched grow up. Hu Liena was very happy. This feeling of cheating and showing off was really great, no? Next, I need to look for Su Chen again to see what other tricks he can come up with. I still want it. Still want it. I still want it. Qian Renxue felt unhappy and said angrily. Stop blabbering. Do you want to sleep or not? If not, I will go to bed first. She couldn't wait to take Hu Liena and ask her carefully. Hu Liena glanced at Qian Renxue with some embarrassment and muttered, actually, I didn't stay here to accompany you. Done. Hu Liena looked at the two people, Agony Douluo and Snake Spear Douluo, and said seriously. Two grandpas, my inheritance power has improved too fast. Can you please give me some advice and help me adapt to my current strength? She really didn't stay with Qian Renxue, but to adapt to her strength so that she could kill Tang San next. It is good. Let's go out of the city and find a place to compete. The two agouti agreed immediately, then looked a little tangled and said. You have to be careful when you attack. Your strength is no weaker than ours now. That we have to say here that Gongzi still has something, and he has accumulated rich escape experience with a lifetime of 29 level soul power, many rings, many bones, a wave of skills. If you have few rings and few bones, you will run away. With Hu Liena's 4 sets of 100,000-year-old soul rings and soul bones, ordinary title Douluo were almost no match. Okay. Hu Liena nodded heavily and gave Qian Renxue an affirmative look, indicating that Xiao Yasen was dead. Subsequently, Elephant Douluo and Snake Spear Douluo, one with Hu Liena and the other with Qian Renxue, flew away from the prince's mansion. On the way back, Yi Lingling asked in a low voice. Su Chen, what were you and Sister Nana doing in the back just now? Su Chen had a smile on his face, looked at Yi Lingling provocatively and asked. Do you want to know? So you are brave? Okay. Yi Lingling nodded heavily, level 10 soul power. How could I not want to know? Su Chen pinched Yi Lingling's little face and said with a wicked smile. You need to know this for yourself. You have to be obedient when you go back later. I'll teach you how to be a good man. Yi Lingling's heart tightened, and she felt something was wrong. The branch hall of Wuhun Hall, when Su Chen brought Yi Lingling back, he didn't know that on the other side, Hu Liena stayed in the prince's mansion, but she was actually going to challenge the title Douluo. After he took a shower, he carried Yi Lingling back to the house. Lingling, are you ready? Yi Lingling nodded shyly. I'm ready. I won't marry unless you are in my life. Su Chen gently kissed her pretty red face, and finally kissed her red ears. Seeing her mesmerizing spring scenery hidden under her thin pajamas, Su Chen said. Don't you want to know what Nana was doing just now? I'll teach you first, and then we'll practice martial soul fusion skills. VIP content. That night, congratulations to Yi Lingling, for triggering the hidden mission reward and getting soul power increased by 10 levels. After a long time, congratulations to Yi Lingling, for triggering the hidden mission reward and getting soul power increased by 10 levels. In Douluo Continent, martial soul fusion skills are indeed terrifying. For example, Yi Lingling tonight jumped directly from level 48 to level 68 just by practicing martial soul fusion skills with Su Chen. In just one night, he directly rose to level 20. It can be seen from this that the martial soul fusion skills are so terrifying. In the room. Whoosh! Yi Lingling gasped and shouted. Jiuxin Haitang Emperor, cure! A golden ray of light fell from the sky. It looked extremely healing, and it was still in the state of blossoming petals. It slowly fell and landed on Yi Lingling and Su Chen. Su Chen looked confused and said. Lingling, what are you doing? Yi Lingling didn't speak. After feeling that the healing skills were useless, he hurriedly enlarged his moves. Emperor Nine Hearts Begonia, revive. All of a sudden, the entire room began to rain with full-bodied nine-hearted begonia flowers, and the resurrection flowers opened, Yi Lingling said in a weak voice. No, I can't. Su Chen, I really can't. My martial spirit can't heal me. I'm really tired. Su Chen understood instantly and laughed out loud, ha. Okay, this is what Emperor Jiuxin Haitang asked you to use, right? You little naughty kid, your nine-hearted begonia can't restore its soul power, nor can it restore its physical strength. And also, do you want to see who is contributing? Su Chen was immediately furious. Kunpeng's martial soul fusion skills, blossoming everywhere. Kunpeng's martial soul fusion skill, wearing red and arranging flowers. Kunpeng's martial soul fusion skill, you will reap what you sow. 9 Hearts and Begonia Emperor, treatment, recovery. Outside Tiando City, in a deserted place, a large pink mist appeared. The 6th soul ring, the 1st soul skill, blurry illusion. The 8th soul ring, the 1st soul skill, burning sky fox fire. The surrounding illusion was like a realm, and fireballs rained down from the sky. These 2 moves directly forced the snake spear and Aguda 9th soul skills to be unleashed. Hu Liena's set of soul skills stunned both the snake spear and the Agatha. A set of 100,000-year-old soul rings and soul bones are 4 soul skills. 4416, plus the first 4 soul skills, Hu Liena alone has more soul skills than the 2 of them combined. This is a serious bully. Of course, they were glad that Hu Liena was only at level 80. If Hu Liena was at level 88 or 9, they would really collapse. Hu Liena's battle with the 2-titled Douluo really made Qian Renxue cry with envy. In this case, we can use a word to express that one day is missing, like 3 autumns. In just one day, Hu Liena immediately took off. One battle is over. The 2 of them, Snake Spear and Guillotine, were in disgrace, but Hu Liena's situation was much better, they both said with joy and sorrow. More than 10 years have passed in the blink of an eye, and Nana, you are so powerful now. The 2 of them were very happy about this. Hey, we are really old. We have watched you grow up since childhood, and we have watched you grow up to be able to beat us. That the 2 of them felt sad about this, Hu Liena said with a smile. That's because the 2 grandfathers felt sorry for me and were reluctant to beat me. Hahaha, that the 2 laughed. Let's go back. We 2 old bones have been punished by you today. Chapter 55 Girls who love to laugh will not have bad luck. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey. On the way, the 2 of them suddenly saw Yi Lingling's reward reminder in their minds. Hu Liena's face was full of smiles, and Qian Renxue's eyes almost turned red with envy. God. Yi Lingling actually directly obtained level 20 soul power. Even without 100,000-year soul ring and soul bone, this is still a reward that makes people cry with envy. Damn it. Qian Renxue glared at Hu Liena fiercely. She was blaming the little fox for not telling her the 2nd and 3rd hidden tasks. When she returned to the prince's mansion, Qian Renxue changed into her pajamas and lay down on the bed as if she was angry with her little daughter-in-law, ignoring Hu Liena at all. Hu Liena changed into her pajamas and threw herself on the bed. She put her arms around Qian Renxue's soft and slender waist, and whispered in her ear. Yo! What's going on? You look like a frustrated little wife. Qian Renxue said nothing. Hu Liena muttered, ha. It's not that I just want to know how to get the reward. It's not that I won't tell you, but that you can't get it even if I tell you. Why? Qian Renxue was angry. Hu Liena was also helpless. You have seen it yourself. Now only Lingling and I have received the reward. Even Duguian didn't succeed. That's because we are his girlfriends. Even if you know what we can do, can you do it? Qian Renxue said nothing, not knowing what she was thinking in her heart. Hu Liena hugged Qian Renxue tightly and whispered. Martial Spirit Hall is my home, you are my sister, and the teacher is my mother. I will not let anyone destroy my home, and I will not allow anyone to hurt you. Tang San, I will definitely kill him. Well, you have to be careful. Qian Renxue remembered that the last time the 2 of them slept together like this was very early in the morning, and they were still in Wuhun Hall at that time. Quiet night, they could hear each other's breathing and feel each other's emotions. Qian Renxue suddenly asked. Nana, do you remember the first time we met? That Hu Liena recalled, pinched Qian Renxue's plump breasts and said, of course, the way you looked at me in the Pope's palace was as if you wanted to eat me. Qian Renxue murmured. She's never hugged me like that. Hu Liena said gently, it's okay, everything will be fine, we will, and so will the teacher. Well. Qian Renxue whispered after a while, Nana, thank you for coming to see me all these years. Hu Liena touched Qian Renshue's white and tender belly. She knew that Qian Renxue was stubborn and said things that she hated Bibi Dong. But Hu Liena knew that every time she came to Qian Renxue secretly and told her about Bibi Dong, Qian Renxue will be very concerned about it. Another night filled with envy for daily rewards. As always, everyone is waiting for the reward. Suddenly, he saw a prompt in a diary copy, which showed Yilingling's level 20 soul power upgrade. Everyone's mentality just collapsed. Is there a possibility that this is not a problem with Hu Liena, but a problem with the diary copy? Many of them began to persuade themselves to make copies of their diaries in their hearts. Notebook, you are already a mature notebook, you have to learn to fight for rewards for your master yourself. You can't keep looking at your master with jealousy beyond recognition. Although everyone is envious, jealous and hateful, but they really didn't know Su Chen, they really didn't know who Su Chen was, and where they should go to get rewards from him. Drop. Diary, recording a wonderful time travel life. Reward distribution. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward. The lifespan of all soul rings has been increased by 1,000 years. Congratulations to the host for receiving a random reward. Soul power increased by 1 level. 22 levels. Su Chen ignored it completely and continued to study martial soul fusion techniques with Yilingling. Yilingling was originally an auxiliary soul master and was much weaker than Hu Liena. This was not as durable as Hu Liena's martial soul. Even the 9-hearted Begonia Emperor, whom she was so proud of, couldn't help her. Dungeon reward distribution. Congratulations to Hu Wu, whose name was mentioned the most in the diary and received a reward, 1,000 years added to the lifespan of all soul rings. Congratulations to Yilingling, whose name was randomly selected in the diary and received a random reward, the soul power increased by 1 level. Congratulations to Lu Erlong, you have become a lucky viewer and can customize the theme of the diary once. Okay. Yilingling had just closed her eyes to rest for a while, and suddenly saw the reward in her mind, and she was instantly happy. Although her current soul power is stuck at level 50 and she has not obtained a soul ring yet, her real level has reached level 68. Now that she has received another reward, she will be at level 69. Awesome, is this what cheating feels like? Sister Nana, please develop more hidden rewards in the future. Su Chen, love me again. 9 hearts and Begonia Emperor's martial spirit fusion skill, play the flute to beg for food. Blazing Academy, Hu Wu jumped out of bed happily, dancing with joy, and the spring light in the room was shaking. I finally succeeded. She released her martial spirit, purple, cool. Hu Wu couldn't hold back her joy, although she is nothing compared to Hu Liena, and even though she is nothing compared to Yilingling, I am always content with what I have. This was enough to keep her chin upright in Blazing Academy. No one in the same class can play. A girl who loves to laugh will not be too pregnant, hahaha. Like fire dancing. Lanba Academy, Lu Erlong also jumped up from the bed happily at this moment. He was also so excited that he twisted his butt and danced, having a great time together. Compared with Hu Wu's bulging figure, Lu Erlong's figure is much more foul, and the young woman's charm about him is far beyond what Hu Wu can match. Hahaha. I am so lucky. Young women who love to laugh are not too bad at pregnancy. Last time I had a good opportunity to ask Yu Xiaogang, bastard, this time I want to increase the lifespan of all the soul rings by 1,000 years. The lucky audience drawn last time not only completely broke the image of Yu Xiaogang in her heart, but also watched Bibi Dong receive the reward. This was even more uncomfortable than killing her. My eyes were swollen from crying that day. This time, Lu Erlong wants to live for himself. What about Yu Xiaogang and what about Bibi Dong? None of my business. Let that little bastard Su Chen write about himself tomorrow. Lu Erlong thought of this and secretly clenched his fists. Simultaneously, her mind recalled Su Chen's handsome face and those cold fists. She couldn't help but shudder when she thought of this. The feeling of cold air entering her body was really unpleasant. Damn bastard. Since she was beaten by Su Chen last time and the cold air entered her body, her aunt has been very, very fond of her since she arrived this time. This made Lu Erlong worried. Did Su Chen do this on purpose, as a bastard? If it hurts like this next time, I will take responsibility for him. Chapter 56. It's so good to be young, hahahaha. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shrek, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing stared at each other with big eyes. Hey! Are we so unlucky? Why can't you always draw us? Daily rewards, wait for others to get rewards every day. Xiao Wu and the other three are basically the latter. Oh, Xiao Wu even took a carrot and ate it once, which made Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing feel miserable. Nothing at all. Zhu Zhuqing looked at the two of them and asked. How many people do you think have a copy of the diary? This. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong were a little entangled and began to make calculations in their minds. Zhu Zhuqing shook his head and said again. I mean, how many do you think there are, not how many people have been mentioned in the diary rewards. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong were even more confused. This? How can we know this? Zhu Zhuqing thought for a while and said to the two of them, let me tell you my guess. Can you help me think about it? That is to say, Hu Liena is a genius from Wuhun Academy, Du Guyan and Yi Lingling are geniuses from Tiando Academy, and Huo Wu is a genius from Qihua Academy. Under normal circumstances, the three of us would join Shrek. Can we? Are you sure that every genius girl in the academy is likely to get a copy of the diary? Secondly, there are Bibi Dong, Lu Erlong, and Tang Yuehua. It is possible for outstanding women to obtain a copy of the diary. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong had painful expressions and headaches, as if they were about to grow brains. So what exactly does Zhu Qingqing want to say? Zhu Zhuqing held his forehead and shook his head and sighed, feeling a little powerless to complain. You said that Ning Rongrong is the little princess of the Qibao glazed sect. She has been spoiled since she was a child and her mind is not that mature. Yu Xiaowu is 100,000-year-old rogue rabbit. Don't you have any brains at all? How did you survive until now? Zhu Zhuqing is naturally different from them. She grew up in a different environment. Even though she developed into the #1 mother in mainland China, she also developed a brain. I mean, probably more people have copies of the diary than we think. We need to do something, if we can, to be more competitive. Xiao Wu, Rongrong is the little princess of the 7 treasures glazed sect. It's okay if she doesn't work hard. Don't you know how to work hard? Do you want to be killed for a soul ring? Zhu Zhuqing now feels that her sister Zhu Zhuyan most likely also has a copy of the diary. That would be too bad. Wuhun Temple, Bibi Dong looked a little ugly. Why did this damn Lu Erlong win another lucky audience? And the 9 Hearts Begonia girl was actually behind Nana, completing 2 hidden tasks and gaining level 20 soul power. Since we are with Nana's family, we can win over them to enter the spirit hall. Bibi Dong was wearing pajamas, sitting on the bed and lost in thought. Although Su Chen didn't write it in his diary, Yi Lingling's martial spirit must have evolved. If it hadn't evolved, Su Chen's writing style would have caused him to complain. What new abilities will the evolved Jiuxin Begonia have? Su Chen said that he would go to Shuer tonight. He didn't know what he would say to Shuer, but it was okay. Shuer knew everything now, and many more. This bastard Su Chen knows so many secrets. Is he going to threaten Shuer? Damn it. A sentence suddenly popped up in Bibi Dong's mind. Miss Qian Renxue, you don't want your identity as an undercover agent to be discovered, right? Bibi Dong felt a little crazy when she thought of this, but when she thought about it carefully, it shouldn't be the case. After all, Su Chen had Nana by his side. Nana and Shuer had always had a good relationship and wouldn't let Su Chen do this. So close your eyes. Bibi Dong suddenly thought of Yu Xiaogang. According to Su Chen's arrangement, he will go from Tiando City to Soto City tomorrow, and the purpose of this trip is to teach him a lesson. Although the obsession was no longer affected, Bibi Dong still felt a little unbearable when she thought that Su Chen wanted to destroy Yu Xiaogang. That's all. Bibi Dong finally sighed and fell asleep. From now on, just be a stranger. She will have Nana and Shuer in the future, and this life will be enough. The next day, Tiando City Branch Hall, Su Chen got up from the bed, moved his body, and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Another day of low energy. He picked up Yi Lingling, who was lying on the bed like a kitten, and said gently, "Little lazy cat, it's time to get up. We are going out to play today." "Okay," Yi Lingling responded softly and said a little shyly, "Then turn around first, I'll get up soon." Su Chen laughed. "Why, you asked me to love you again last night, and now you're shy again." Yi Lingling blushed and said nothing. Shortly after, when Su Chen came out with Yi Lingling, the people from Wuhun Palace had already arranged everything, and it was still a high-speed carriage. Zhuoguan also showed up with Xia Yu and others, and said hello with a smile. "We haven't seen each other for a few days. Have you found another girlfriend? It's great to be young, geez." Su Chen looked at the other party's smile and felt a little scared. "Brother. Do you dare to say to me, it's so cool to eat a peach?" Hee. Su Chen smiled and said, "I'll pick up Hu Liena later, and then we'll go out to play for a few days. Senior, I'll be there for you at Lingling's house." Yu Guan nodded, took 2 steps forward and asked, "I haven't seen you in the past 2 days, and I still don't know what the result was of your fight with that old poisoner." Su Chen said calmly, "Of course I win." "Hahaha." Guan Yu laughed happily, turned around and said, "Old ghost, you send someone to arrange things for the Yi family. I'll go talk to that old poisonous guy, and then we'll go back to Wuhun City together." Su Chen also waved to Gui Mei, Xia Yu, and Yan, took Yi Lingling into the carriage, and rushed towards the prince's mansion. Yan's expression was complicated. Looking at Su Chen's leaving figure, he couldn't figure it out for a long time. Snapped. Xia Yu slapped Yan on the head and said angrily, "What are you looking at? Why are you also attracted to Su Chen's handsomeness?" Cough cough. Yan choked and said angrily, "What nonsense are you talking about? I just don't understand what charm Su Chen has that can make Nana so enamored of him, and the descendant of Jiuxin Haitang." "Stupid guy," Xia Yu cursed angrily, "you didn't understand just now, did you? Su Chen can beat a titled Douluo. If you have the strength of a titled Douluo now, and you say no one cares about you, let alone finding a few excellent girlfriends, I will have no problem being your girlfriend." Yan sighed heavily and said seriously, "Nana is indeed the girl I have loved. She has such good taste." Gui Mei glanced at the two of them and said calmly, "Okay, hurry up and arrange the business. That girl Yi Lingling is also Su Chen's lover. Escorting her family to Wuhun City for proper resettlement will help win over Su Chen in the future. It's a great achievement to do this well." Chapter 57 2 Old Men and One Drama. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Prince's mansion, Qian Renxue and Hu Liena were already waiting in front of the door. Although they said goodbye this morning, Qian Renxue didn't chat for a long time last night. They just hugged each other and slept quietly all night. Silence is worth 1,000 words. Su Chen, that when Hu Liena saw the arrival, she waved happily. Su Chen took Yi Lingling out of the car, nodded with a smile, and shouted to Qian Renxue, "I have met His Highness the Crown Prince." Qian Renxue nodded slightly. "Young Master Su, you don't have to be polite. I've already asked someone to prepare pastries for you to take with you to eat on the way." "It is good." Su Chen nodded and helped Yi Lingling and Hu Liena get into the car. Qian Renxue was now Shueqinghe, and there was no farewell between the two parties. Hu Liena waved her hand from the car. "Your Highness, if you have time, remember to go to Wuhun City to find me." "It is good," she agreed with a smile on the outside, but in fact she was very reluctant to give up. Su Chen also got on the car at this time, waved and said, "His Royal Highness, goodbye." Simultaneously, Su Chen's secret voice transmission. Qian Renxue. Be happy and don't be under too much pressure. If anything happens, send someone to notify me. I will come no matter where you are. Qian Renxue couldn't help but tremble in her heart when she heard Su Chen's voice transmission. She quickly walked back towards the prince's mansion before the carriage had gone far, because, the tears in her eyes could no longer be held back. This moment, she even had an idea: wouldn't she be happier if she left with Su Chen without everything in front of her? Unfortunately, there is no such thing. She has been working hard for so many years, she can't just give up. She has to protect the Wuhun Palace, and she can't let Grandpa down. Perhaps Su Chen's last words are enough. Qian Renxue held back tears and began to prepare to replan her plan. On the carriage, Su Chen took Qian Renxue and asked others to prepare food, took out a pot of wine, took a sip and sighed. The world's most powerful people come from my generation, and the time comes when I enter the world. While chatting and laughing about the emperor's hegemony, he couldn't bear the intoxication of life. Wherever there are people, there are rivers and lakes. Where there are rivers and lakes, there are grievances and grievances. People are rivers and lakes. This corresponds to his promise to Qian Renxue. Originally, he did not want to interfere with the affairs of the Tiando royal family, but after meeting Qian Renxue, he decided to intervene. Hu Liena looked at Su Chen, was silent for a while and asked, "What is Jianghu?" Su Chen replied calmly, "Jianghu is a world full of power, money and interests." Yi Lingling thoughtfully handed Su Chen a piece of pastry. Tiando Royal Academy. At this moment, not only was Dugu Yan waiting for Su Chen at the door, but Fei Hengheng and many classmates were also following him. Dugu Bo also came to see his granddaughter off early in the morning. There was also someone accompanying Dugu Bo, Zhuoguan. No accidents. It might be a little more difficult for Su Chen to find Dugu Bo, but it would be much easier to find Dugu Bo at Juhua Pass, so he would be able to find him quickly and accurately. Yo yo yo. As soon as Zhuoguan arrived, he said in a strange way, "I haven't seen you for a while, but I've broken through level 93. It's really gratifying." That when Dugu Bo saw the dead chrysanthemum, his face darkened instantly. "Chrysanthemum Pass, where did the evil wind come from and brought you here?" "You." When Yu Guan heard Dugu Bo calling him Juhua Guan, he instantly became angry. "Ah! I haven't heard that Dugu Bo, a dignified Douluo, was defeated by an 18-year-old young man. I was afraid that you would be sad, so I came here to comfort you." Dugu Bo's expression condensed. He turned to look at Yu Guan and said, "How do you know?" "Yo yo yo. You really were defeated. You weren't injured, were you? If you were injured, people would feel bad for you." Yu Guan used his unique chrysanthemum energy to discuss Dugu Bo in a weird and sinister way. However, Dugu Bo was not angry. He just said calmly, "You want to see my joke? That will disappoint you. My Dugu Bo skills are not as good as others, so I am convinced that I lost." "Hey." Yu Guan looked a little confused. Is this old monster really losing his face? He actually accepted it so calmly. Beside, Yu Tianheng had no intention of listening to the quarrel between the two titled Douluo, and his whole heart was focused on Dugu Yan. "Yanzi, why do you have to drop out of school? Everyone has agreed before that we will participate in the mainland Soul Master competition together and win first place." That he didn't know what was going on, but when he heard the teacher said that Dugu Yan had suspended school, he became really worried. Dugu Yan looked at Yu Tianheng and said calmly, "The Soul Master competition is no longer my pursuit. I know you like me, but I don't like you. There will be no result between us." Yu Tianheng looked disappointed and said, "Then where are you going?" Dugu Yan said with a serious face, "Follow the man I like, the man Lingling likes, and wander around the world." Yu Tianheng looked at Dugu Yan's expression and instantly thought of the man who beat his aunt, that man named Su Chen. Yu Tianheng thought of Su Chen and had to admit in his heart that he was very handsome and very strong. If Yanzi wanted to follow him and like him, he might be able to bless them. To love someone, as long as she lives a good life, no. At this time, the carriage came. Su Chen jumped out of the car, followed by Hu Liena and Yi Lingling. Grandpa Zhu. Grandpa Dugu. Hu Liena and Yi Lingling greeted Yuguan and Dugubo respectively. Dugubo and Yuguan looked at each other and suspended their argument, but they were still filled with the smell of gunpowder. Swallow. Su Chen waved his hand and shouted to Duguyen. Okay. Duguyen stepped forward quickly and said, I'm ready, we can set off. Su Chen nodded, looked at Dugubo and Yuguan and said. Why did Senior Yuguan turn around and run here? Senior Dugu, I will take Yanzi away today, don't worry. No one will hurt her as long as I am here. Yuguan smiled and said, it's nothing, I'm catching up with old friends. Dugubo snorted coldly at Yuguan, looked at Su Chen and said, from now on, Yan Yan will be left to you, take good care of her. This girl has been spoiled by me all the time. After saying that, Dugubo gave Yuguan a look, damn it, I have a granddaughter. Yuguan's face changed, and for a moment he was filled with resentment. Was he actually defeated by Dugubo, a bastard? Do not. Suddenly he became enlightened and waved to Hu Liena. Seeing this, Hu Liena came over and shouted softly, Grandpa Zhu. Yuguan said with a smile on his face. Nana, Grandpa won't accompany you when he goes back. Please be careful on the road. After saying that, he looked back at Dugubo. I also have a granddaughter. Although she is not a relative, I have watched her grow up. I treat her as my granddaughter, and she also treats me as her grandfather. Isn't this the same thing? You, Dugubo, are so proud. Ah, Dugubo chuckled and waved to Yi Lingling. Yi Lingling also came over and shouted. Grandpa Dugu, Dugubo said with a smile on his face, Lingling, that girl Yan Yan is not sensible. If I am not around from now on, remember to take good care of her. Dugubo, this is my granddaughter too. Chapter 58 Swallow How Can I Live Without You? You are listening at novelfull.audio. All of a sudden, Su Chen was speechless as he watched the two old men quarreling over each other. All right. Swallow, say goodbye to your grandfather and friends, and we're going to set off. Duguyen nodded heavily, turned around, threw herself into Dugubo's arms and choked with sobs, Grandpa, you must remember what Su Chen said, otherwise I will never forgive you. Dugubo fondly touched Duguyen's head and said. Grandpa knows what he's doing. Say hello to your classmates and let's go. Okay. Duguyen walked towards Yu Tianheng, Shirshi's classmates, and her teacher Qin Ming, and said with an apologetic expression. We originally agreed to participate in the Soul Master competition together, but now I have to leave with Lingling. Yi Lingling stood aside quietly without speaking. She usually talks little and doesn't have much contact with everyone. It was because of Duguyen that she chose to form a team with everyone. Qin Ming smiled and joked. Yanzi, don't be burdened, work hard to improve yourself and pursue your own happiness. Haha. Several students on the field also laughed. Su Chen and Duguyen's situation would be obvious to anyone with a discerning eye. And Yi Lingling, seeing that the teacher was joking, Yu Tianheng said in a joking manner, Swallow, it's a good thing you didn't accept me, otherwise I would have delayed you for the rest of your life. Duguyen also laughed, and the parting mood was no longer so heavy. Then we will all be good friends from now on, Teacher Qin Ming, let's go. Qin Ming waved his hand. Take care of yourself. Su Chen led several people onto the carriage, and Duguyen also stepped onto the carriage. Yu Tianheng couldn't help but walked up to the car and asked. Swallow, will we meet again? Duguyen glanced at Yu Tianheng and said, yes, we are still classmates and friends. After saying that, he looked at Su Chen and said, let's go. Su Chen looked strange, feeling vaguely that something was about to happen, really. Yu Tianheng forced his face and said with a smile. Yanzi, you must be happy when we meet again, you must be happy. Okay. Be happy, be happy. As the carriage started to move, Yu Tianheng followed quickly and continued. I won't be in your world anymore, it doesn't matter. Yanzi, you want to be happy Yanzi. The carriage went farther and farther, Yu Tianheng shouted. Swallow, be happy. Swallow, swallow, how can I live without you? Swallow, swallow. Su Chen turned around and looked at Yu Yunpeng who was chasing the car behind him with complicated eyes. Bah, it was Yu Tianheng. He was a little suspicious that he got the wrong script. For a while, Su Chen couldn't help but sing a poem. I advocate letting it go if you can't stop it. This battle between desire and despair. Yuan likes to cross the border. It's time to leave. And he turned off the light. So funny. Ya. Hu Liena, Yi Lingling, and Duguian had big question marks in their minds. Su Chen looked at the three people and asked. Does it sound good? That the three people had complicated expressions and muttered. Why does it feel weird? Last time Yan was hammering trees in the woods, you also sang. Su Chen had a smile on his face, leaned over and rested his head on Hu Liena's lap on the left, and also put his leg on Yi Lingling's lap on the right, and said calmly. I'm not singing, I'm just filling the gap without BGM. There is no shortage of licking dogs everywhere in Loveland. Hu Liena put her hand on Su Chen's cheek and said. That guy named Yu Tianheng, why do I feel so similar to that guy Yan? That Yi Lingling and Dugu Yan were confused, they didn't know who Yan was. Su Chen said calmly, I can't say that they are very similar, I can only say that they are both good brothers of Fiangyang. Oh, the three people who have read the diary also know what the boiling sheep represents. Licking the dog, Dugu Yan looked gloomy, hesitated and asked. Su Chen, is my grandpa okay? Su Chen stood up and sat next to Dugu Yan, comforting him. Don't worry. Your grandfather has a free and easy temperament, and he doesn't like to be restrained. The reason why he stayed in Tiando is because Shueshing saved him, and he has almost repaid his kindness over the years. Ah. Dugu Yan responded softly. Su Chen patted Dugu Yan, take a rest, there is still a long way to go. Dugu Yan nodded and suddenly moved some distance to the side, indicating that Su Chen could also lie on her lap to rest. Su Chen understood, but did not refuse and took advantage of the situation to lie down on Dugu Yan's long legs. It is worth mentioning that Dugu Yan was wearing a short skirt and no stockings on her legs. It's a different kind of enjoyment, fleshy and soft. Su Chen could clearly feel the temperature on her legs. Hu Liena and Yi Lingling sat across from each other and looked at the two people quietly, feeling no surprise in their hearts. After all, Dugu Yan's willingness to follow proves that she likes Su Chen, and they will get together sooner or later. Hu Liena also casually tilted her body and lay on Yi Lingling's lap, muttering. Lingling, the ice on your legs is soft and comfortable. No wonder Su Chen likes it so much. Your stockings are so slippery and must feel very comfortable to the touch. I will give my sister a pair later. What? Yi Lingling's face turned red and she lowered her head and said nothing. The seats of this carriage were on both sides. Su Chen was very dissatisfied with this and secretly decided that when he returned to Wuhun City, he would build a big bed carriage. Bah, it was a big bed carriage. Today is another day of dissatisfaction. Now I am going to take Hu Liena, Yi Lingling, and Dugu Yan to Soto City. I don't know if the scumbag Yu Xiaogang has arrived. Is he going to have to wait for him in Soto City? I go. How dare he? If this scumbag dares to ask me to wait for him in Soto City, I will definitely beat him to 18 knots without any bloodshed. Tiando City and his party are still very satisfied, but I feel a little sorry for Dugu Bo. Not only did they cut off his medicine garden, but they also abducted his granddaughter. When Su Chen wrote this, he was closing his eyes to rest, but he opened his eyes to look at Dugu Yan, and happened to meet Dugu Yan's eyes, who was also looking at her. For a while, Dugu Yan's pretty face turned red quickly. Su Chen pretended to close his eyes and continued his water diary. This girl Duguian is actually peeking at me. Ah, Hu Liena, who was lying opposite, suddenly laughed. Su Chen, the car is full of old people who can see your diary. Dugu Yan is even more embarrassed. If you find it, just find it. Why do you still write it in the diary? How do you want Hu Liena and the others to see me? I don't want to lose face. Today's diary content is about Lu Erlong, what a good guy. I remembered that this irritable little female dragon was beaten up by me last time, and she probably still hates me now. Xuan Jin was not feeling well that day, and my 100 years of skill will make her suffer. Speaking of this, I have to complain, fantasy floor. No, I should be grateful to the fantasy floor. If my strength were shown in a perfect world, would a little kid be able to stab me to death with one finger? Chapter 59 Can't Understand. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lanba Academy. Lu Erlong cursed hard in his heart when he saw the diary update, more than just uncomfortable. She felt Su Chen enter her body at that time, and the cold air made her have to clamp her legs and cover herself with an extra layer of quilt when sleeping at night, so abominable, the cold breath was always in her body. Wait. If I still have severe pain this month, I will definitely go find you. As for Lu Erlong, he is actually quite admirable. Although he has a hot temper, he hates others as much as he hates them. He also has a lively and cheerful personality. He is a person who dares to love and hate. Similarly, Lu Erlong is also a poor woman. Her life should have been better, but just like Bibi Dong, it was ruined by the scumbag Yu Xiaogang. To write about Lu Erlong, I still have to call Yu Xiaogang a scumbag. It's not your fault that you're a waste, but it's your fault that you're a scumbag. When you find out about Lu Erlong's life experience, don't be so selfish and irresponsible. Can't you face the facts bravely, clarify your relationship with Lu Erlong, and bring her and your good brother Flanders together? You can't be with her in your life. Flanders likes Lu Erlong so much, and he will definitely be able to take good care of her. Can't you just let her live a happy life? From the people I have seen so far, he is not as good as Yan and Yu Tianheng. Okay, I was wrong. If Yu Xiaogang hadn't been so weak and selfish, he wouldn't have become a scumbag. Lanba Academy. When Lu Erlong saw this, his expression became a little complicated. She had cried all her tears last time and her eyes were swollen from crying. Now when she looks at these things, she is not that excited anymore. As for Flender, Lu Erlong knew that he had always liked him and he was a good person. If Yu Xiaogang faced it bravely, maybe he might not be with Flender, but he might also come out of it, meet a suitable person, and he wouldn't suffer for so many years, right? Wuhun Temple. When Bibi Dong saw this, she thought of Yan, the boy who had always liked Hu Liena. She didn't know Yu Tianheng. Yan, Bibi Dong knows and understands, if Hu Liena encounters the same situation as him, that boy Yan will never disappear without a trace. He will go to Hu Liena even if it costs his life. This is only based on the fact that Yan is a licker, and it is not a two-way street. Bibi Dong laughed to herself, although she didn't want to admit it, she had to wear the blind Douluo hat properly and wear it properly. Lu Erlong is the illegitimate daughter of Yu Luo Mian. Her mother is naturally a shady existence. She was raised outside by Yu Luo Mian since she was a child. Her mother's lifelong wish is just to enter the Yu family and be recognized. Instead of being a wild woman. With the achievements of Lu Erlong's martial soul after mutation, it is no problem for his mother to enter the Yu family based on the price of her son. However, this bloody plot actually happened. It is really incomprehensible. The story begins with Yu Xiaogang leaving the Wuhun Palace with his tail between his legs. Of course, Yu Xiaogang is also a smart man. He knows that even if Qian Renxue really kills him, the Lanba family will not stand up for him, so he can only run away. Yu Xiaogang met Flanders after leaving the spirit hall. The two wandered together in the Soul Master world. They met Lu Erlong while hunting a soul beast. Later, both Flanders and Yu Xiaogang fell in love with Lu Erlong. I don't know the specific relationship between them. Anyway, they developed the martial soul fusion technique and created a reputation as the golden triangle in the Soul Master world. Lu Erlong is a straightforward woman. Once when Flanders confessed her love, she called both Flanders and Yu Xiaogang in front of her and told them that she liked Yu Xiaogang. Later, Flanders blessed them, she and Yu Xiaogang are getting married. What happened? I have written before. Yu Xiaogang finally ran away on the wedding day. Erlong was almost possessed by the shock. She once bloodbathed a forest of soul beasts, causing the killing to become unstoppable. The target of the attack that hit her hand, even if it was only a small evil, would never have a chance to survive. Think about it, even though Erlong was so evil, Yu Xiaogang didn't show up. Instead, Flanders went to find Erlong and kept trying to relieve her. Only then did Erlong restrain his murderous nature and create Lanba College return to peace. What's even more outrageous is that later, under the persuasion of Xiao Jia San, Yu Xiaogang and Erlong actually became a spiritual couple, Wang Defa. This is something a human being does. No matter how I look at it, I feel like I am mentally retarded. If everyone didn't know it at the beginning, forget it. All of a sudden, after reading the contents of the diary, the expressions of the girls also became complicated, can't understand. In the car, Hu Liena, Yi Lingling, and Du Guyan were also numb. They felt that the world was full of wonders, and Tang San, Yu Xiaogang, and Erlong were all wonders. Fortunately, Su Chen was on the carriage. Although the three of them were feeling uncomfortable, they did not say anything. Otherwise, the three women could have talked about this topic from Tiando City to Soto City. Anyway, Shrek, familiar plot, different operations. Ma Hongjun still caused his girlfriend to break up with him because he was too angry. The original plot was that Tang San and Xiao Wu beat up the evil firegrass chicken Ma Hongjun. Now Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing have a relationship that is still higher than that of Tang San. The three of them stay together day and night. Together, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing gave Ma Hongjun a severe beating today. If Dai Mubai hadn't appeared in time, Ma Hongjun would only have the evil fire grass left. Where did the chicken go, you ask? Of course it was almost gone. At this moment, Xiao Wu and the others looked confused after reading the contents of these diaries. Spiritual couple. This is quite fun. Ning Rongrong couldn't help but murmured, Xiao Wu, does your third brother have a mental problem? How can you still persuade them to become a spiritual couple? Either choose to be together regardless of everything, or keep a distance. Zhu Zhuqing also nodded in agreement. Chapter 60 Hu Liena wants to quibble. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This? Xiao Wu looked confused and said. Shouldn't it? Back in Holy Soul Village, when I first saw Su Chen writing about brother-sister love, that Tang Yuehua, Tang Sledgehammer, Erlong and Yu Xiaogang, I even asked Tang San at that time, and he said it was morally corrupt. Also, Rongrong, can you just talk about Tang San and stop talking about third brother? I always feel a little weird in my heart. Third brother? That is obviously my third uncle. I suspect Rongrong that you are Yin and Yang Mi. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing looked strange and said. That's not right, right? If Tang San really didn't agree, why would he still persuade them to become a spiritual couple? Xiao Wu shook her head. How could they know now that the Binking Yuji Tang Buddha had double standards? Hey, the dean is here. Xiao Wu suddenly saw Flanders in the distance, and a trace of panic flashed in her eyes. Ning Rongrong patted Xiao Wu on the shoulder and said, Don't worry, Zhuqing asked me to inquire last night. Dean Flanders is only level 78. He is not a Contra and cannot tell who you are. So close. Xiao Wu patted the little bear. At this time, the three of them also walked over and stood in a row with Tang San, Dai Mubai, Oscar, and Ma Hongjun. Flanders looked at the 7 people and said, This year has been great, we have 4 more little monsters. I, Dean of Shrek Academy, Flanders, welcome you on behalf of the Academy. Later, each of you will pay 100 gold coins and go to Teacher Li, who is in charge of finance. As an auxiliary soul master, it is extremely dangerous if there is no one to protect you, so escaping is a must-have for you. Oscar, Ning Rongrong, if you can't finish 20 laps before lunch, don't come back for dinner. Oscar's face froze, and he had no choice but to execute. Ning Rongrong turned to look at Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing, and then ran away. Halfway through, the more Oscar looked at Ning Rongrong, the more he liked it. He couldn't help but take out his big sausage to help Ning Rongrong recover his strength, but was knocked over by Ning Rongrong with a punch. Cut. Just run slowly by yourself. At this time, Ning Rongrong was still a little witch, and she didn't care about Flanders, so she turned around and went shopping in Soto City. Today will be her first lesson outside, being criticized by everyone and being pua'd by everyone, from a proud little princess to an approachable Ning Rongrong. Of course, Ning Rongrong's character is actually quite good. The Qibao glazed sect was extremely wealthy and one of the top 3 sections. She was pampered by 2 strong men, Sword Douluo and Bone Douluo, since she was a child. It was normal for a serious little princess to have some princess-like symptoms. Wuhun Temple, Bibi Dong also shook her head. Yu Xiaogang, you and Lu Erlong are really good at playing spiritual couple. Fortunately, you can think of it, but, when Su Chen arrives in Soto City next, how will he deal with Yu Xiaogang? Still remember what he wrote before, he wanted to help Yu Xiaogang become a spiritual couple with Lu Erlong. What would he do? And Nana? Hu Liena, Bibi Dong knows her very well, although she is kind-hearted, she can also do cruel things because of her feelings for herself. Having learned so much from the copy of the diary, even if Su Chen would not be too cruel to Yu Xiaogang, she would never let Yu Xiaogang go. During this day, Ning Rongrong followed the old path, was severely beaten by Flanders, and then was isolated. Of course, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing had already had a heart-to-heart relationship with her. They didn't really isolate her, but were taken by Flanders to Soto City to prepare for them to participate in the Great Soul Fighting Arena. Flanders actually had the courage to confront her like this because of Ning Fengji's instructions. So, Ning Rongrong and Oscar were left in the academy. Ning Rongrong didn't care about this. Her original intention was not to be a good student here, but to wait for Su Chen's arrival. As for what Flanders said, several people in Shrek were more talented than her, and Ning Rongrong didn't care at all. Powerful. Haha. That's because you don't know Su Chen, that's because you don't know Hu Liena and Yi Lingling. She still has the pride of the princess, but the pride of the genius has long been wiped away by Su Chen. Night comes, Ning Rongrong sat at the door of Shrek, thinking about Su Chen. Where is this guy now? He should have arrived in Soto City, so will he come directly to Shrek? Hey! That scumbag Yu Xiaogang hasn't come yet. Oscar stood silently in the distance. The dog-licking martial spirit was awakening, but he said, Su Chen and his party had already entered the city at this moment. Soto City was definitely not as good as Qiando City. He sat by the window and watched the night view of Soto City, which was still quite lively. I just don't know if the plot of Shrek has started, and how far it has developed. He couldn't go too late, he was still thinking about kidnapping a cat maid, such a busty cat. It's exciting just thinking about it. Su Chen. Hu Liena suddenly sat over and stopped talking. What happened? Su Chen glanced at Hu Liena with some confusion, wondering what the little fox was struggling with on the road today. Hu Liena endured it and finally said. Actually, I have a secret that I'm hiding from you. If you find out later, don't blame me, okay? Seeing this, Du Guyan and Yi Lingling both looked at Hu Liena. Is this preparation for a showdown? Su Chen smiled and joked. It doesn't matter, I have a secret to hide from you too. Keep your secret safe and don't let me find out, otherwise I will punish you severely. Hu Liena nodded and said with a serious face, since you don't mind, let me make a quibble first. I'll confess first. In fact, I am a god. Hey wait, before Hu Liena finished speaking, Su Chen suddenly called out. Stop the car too. Seeing this, Hu Liena and the other 3 followed Su Chen's gaze with puzzled expressions. In the distance, what caught the eye were 5 figures in black, white, blue, pink, and red. Sitting beside them was an owl-like man wearing glasses. Okay, Hu Liena frowned and couldn't help but said. 100,000-year soul beast. Yi Lingling and Du Guyan also looked shocked and looked at Hu Liena with doubts on their faces. Su Chen was also a little confused, turned to Hu Liena and asked. Have you seen Xiao Wu? Hu Liena shook her head and explained. I was half quibbling with you just now. In fact, I am the inheritor of the gods. It was the gods that my teacher helped me find. I have passed several exams and am now an 80-level contra. Hu Liena couldn't hide this matter. Sooner or later, she would have to reveal her strength in front of Su Chen. What do you say? Su Chen was completely shocked, damn it. You, Hu Liena, are the biggest problem. Are you stronger than me? Hu Liena said seriously. You said, let me keep my secret. So I am the inheritor of the gods. I have passed several exams now, and my strength is also very strong. Well, Su Chen looked at Hu Liena with a strange expression and muttered in his heart, Hu Liena would never have thought of the reason of divine inheritance. It seems like there is Bibi Dong in it.